This is all about entrepreneurship, and I'd like to encourage people that are going to start their own business. They get scared and fearful of doing things, but it's just like eating an elephant. It's one bite at a time. And so if you look at the whole picture, if you're scared to start something, just do it.
Hey, welcome back to Who Dare Go There. This is our first filming of the year. Sometimes we get so busy in our own facility that it clutters my brain and I'm not as creative as I sometimes am. But today we're starting back, and today I have special guests. Our entire family is here besides our daughter-in-law, which is home taking care of babies. But today we're going to start and we're going to explain what we're doing, why we're doing it, and letting you see from the very beginning of what we have to work with. So today I'm going back to Genesis, and in Genesis it says, "And God spoke to Israel in a vision at night and said, 'Jacob, Jacob.' 'Here I am,' he replied. 'I am God, the God of your father,' he said. 'Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I will make you into a great nation there. And I will go down to Egypt with you, and I will surely bring you back again. And Joseph's hands will close your eyes.'" So to me, what I take from this verse is that Jacob was scared to go down and where God told him to, but God told him not to be afraid. And so God doesn't promise us that we're not going to go through hardships, but He does promise us that He will be with us every step of the way. And we feel like fears of the devil. So are we hesitant or scared to start some of the things we start? Absolutely. But we work through that because we know that God will be with us through this journey as well. So in saying that, I'll start out with a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. I thank you for being able to have our family on today and let people see how we are and what we stand for. Lord, we stand for you, and we want to shout it from the mountaintop that you are our God and you are our God to everything we do. Lord, let us not be scared, because scarcity is of the devil, and we just ask that you chase him away from us. Let us continue to grow as a family, as a community. Give us ideas to help make our city and town and state and country a better place to live. We love you so much, and we thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ. In your name we pray. Amen. Hey, welcome back to Who Dare Go There. Let me introduce my guests today. My guests are very special to me, and this is one of the reasons I do this. So starting at my right, I'm going to start with John. John is my son-in-law who's married to my daughter, Lucy. John brings to us and our family stability, where Chase and I and Lucy, we all go in different direction, and John's that steady one coming in. So he plays a very important role to our family, and he has fit right in, and we're thrilled to have him. So as part of our family and as a business partner as well. Lucy is our daughter, our oldest child, and she brings the creativity as far as we may come up with ideas, but she and Dana together team up and then attack me and say all these details, and I'm not a detailed person, I'm a big picture person. But because of them, it makes our whole organization look like a magician. And you'll see that today because we intentionally started in this area that you see, and you'll see some other roles of what we have to start with when we start a business. So you're going to get to see it from the bare bones, and we'll continue to follow the progress of this last operation so you can see what we go through and how we do it, and the end as well. So you'll be able to compare the beginning to the end. So then as we go further to my left is my beautiful bride, Dana. We've been married almost 40 years. She's always with me. She never tells me no in my big dream ideas, but she's always there to pick up my pieces. And she teams up with Lucy as well, picking out colors and decorations and chairs and table. Everything is a detail. That's why they're good at it and I am not. And then last but not least is my son, Chase. And Chase comes to us. He graduated, they both graduated with entrepreneurship degrees, and John with a business degree as well, and even has his MBA from some small school.
Roll Tide.
Okay,
small
whatever.
School.
Boo.
So when Chase got out of college, he started ACME Athletics, and we're going to get into that a little bit, but together our whole family runs our whole operations, because John and Chase have operations, they have HR, and marketing. So they're in charge of all that, and our family's just in charge of vision and execution of those. So it works really well with our family dynamics. So today what we're going to talk about, though, is ACME Athletics. So Chase, why don't you start us out by telling us the history of ACME Athletics?
So started ACME in 2016, and it was a facility that was designed for youth athletes. And we've kind of morphed over the years. We still do training in basketball, soccer, baseball, but we've kind of mainly focused the last couple of years on volleyball and pickleball in our adult fitness program. And we have some other things coming, but that's where ACME came from. The name ACME, we wanted to keep it with the building that this whole building that we're in is used to be the ACME boot warehouse, and so we kept the name ACME with it. So ACME Athletics, and ACME means the peak or the tip. And so what we wanted to do was kind of use that name and like help athletes and adults and everybody reach their peak performance while being here at ACME.
So in this renovation that we're going to change the model of ACME, Dana, tell us a little bit about your ideas about what direction we're going, and I'll get back with Chase too as well on that.
Our age group, longevity means everything, and so we have a lot of athletes that work out, and with the new development, the new stage that Chase is going to talk about in a minute about how we're designing the new ACME, we're adding this wellness area, and we want to focus on people with their longevity. And we're going to have several different modalities in that area for people so that they can have recovery and just live a better life and longer life. So that's what we're really going to focus on.
Modality sure is a big word. Can you explain what that means to me?
I wonder how many times we're going to say modalities in this conversation.
Well, so modalities would mean like a sauna, red light, salt rooms, halotherapy, hyperbaric chamber. These are all different things that we're looking into. And so those are modalities.
Okay, awesome. So Chase, let's go back to you for a second. Let's talk about what the new ACME is going to look like as a big picture.
So ACME is going to be a huge facility. We're going to have, right now we're currently installing our 6 volleyball courts that we have. So we're still going to have volleyball and pickleball. But the things we're adding in this space that we're sitting in right now is going to be a full fitness floor. We're going to have all the cardio equipment, all the strength equipment, the racks, the rigs, everything, plate loaded, pin loaded, like all the kind of equipment you want, because we noticed that when parents were coming in, they wanted a place to work out. And so we have our adult fitness, but a lot of people just want to work out by themselves. And so we're going to be adding that into our facility. It's going to be super cool. We're also going to have we're going to continue to have our adult fitness area where we have small group and large group classes led by a trainer, and we focus on fitness, accountability, and nutrition. So it's not just a gym membership; it's more of a transformation program that we run people through. We've had amazing testimonials for that and seen a lot of success over the years doing that. And then we're also going to have one thing that we don't have currently that we're going to be adding is a kids area. So parents coming in, you can drop your kids off at our kids area. It'll be led by instructors and classes. We'll have classes and things like that. But you'll be able to drop your kids off and then go work out or hop into the modalities like Mom was talking about while you're working out. So it's going to be or you want to go play pickleball, you can drop your kids off as well.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so it's going to be a really cool environment. One of the coolest parts, I think, about the whole thing is that what it's going to be connected to and how we're going to connect everything. So I don't know who wants to talk about that, but
Chase has given us an overview of what a lot of the facility is going to look like, but let's go back some to like the cold plunge and the saunas and the benefits of some of these things.
With lots of research and different things that we have learned, I am proclaimed as Dr. Dana, self-proclaimed. And so I really, really, really enjoy digging in and trying to learn as much as I can about health and wellness. So we've learned that cold plunge and then getting into an infrared sauna and then working out helps with your heart. Like we just talked to a cardiologist this week about the way you do this circuit. So what we are going to try to do, like Chase just said, is we're going to try to help with individuals so that they can improve their body, improve their longevity, and maybe not have to take so many drugs and different things. What we want to do is we want to teach people, like Chase said, about nutrition. We want to teach them that aspect, that working out, and then all these different modalities that we will bring will help with recovery and help with people when they've got issues that they need to work through. All of these modalities will help.
Chase, tell us one more time about TWO. What do you do at home, and how does that make you feel?
Oh, my wife, who's not sitting here with us right now, she, for my birthday, got me a cold plunge, and I'd never done it before. And so basically, it's been so cold in Clarksville lately, we don't have to have ice or anything like that. We just fill it up with water, and I hop in every day because it's freezing. And it's been great. I've seen the cold plunge fad and everything like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. But just the mental clarity you get throughout the day from doing the cold plunge is awesome. And so I'm excited to kind of have that in a facility to where everybody can kind of share in that without having to go get your own cold plunge or get a chiller for the summertime because you got to keep it cold and all that kind of stuff. But it does suck getting into. It's the hardest decision you make every day, but it's definitely worth it. And so, tip of mine is when you come in and do it, just put on a song that's 3 minutes long or however long you must stay in, find a song that meets that criteria, and just sing it in your head or sing it out loud the entire time. It helps make it through a little bit easier.
So when you say it's cold in your sauna, in your cold plunge, how cold is it? What'd you have to do the other day to get in?
Yeah, the other day it had iced over, and so I had to take my water bottle that's metal and just break up all the ice to get in, which is, it's good. The ice didn't cut or anything like that, so it is you can't just like put your foot in and then slowly get into it. It's like just one of those things where you got to get in and suck it up and just sit in there for 3-5 minutes, however you want to do.
The one that we're going to have is you're going to be able to walking down in instead of like a bucket or like a tub. This is going to be built into the ground like a hot tub, say for instance, and you'll walk in and there'll be steps in and out, so you can walk in and you can just kind of slowly walk yourself out if you want to do that. But this is something that we want, and it'll be something kind of like a challenge. So let's just say we have pickleball people that are working out and they're like, all right, let's all go take a cold plunge, or it'll be something that people can challenge each other to do. We're super excited about it.
So we are a family of entrepreneurs, but it's nothing that we just say, oh, let's do this. How long have we been working on this process of what we're going to do? How long have we been working on this?
Too long.
How long?
Too long.
2 years at least.
2 years at least?
So we didn't just come up with this. It isn't just like fly by night. We've been doing research and going to seminars and different places to be educated. And we visited numerous places. I just got back from visiting a spa just to see what their salt room looked like, and to see what they had a snow room, to see what the difference in these things are. So we do tons of research.
So this is not just a quick, why don't we try this and just go in and do this massive reconstruction. We don't work that way. We study it, but we're awfully quick to jump in and do it after we've done all the research, because scarcity and being afraid is what makes the difference between an entrepreneur and not being one, because the entrepreneurs are going to jump and do it. And so that's what we encourage: educate, then jump. But Lucy, when we create this, what is your position going to be in ACME? What do you do for us in this situation?
Well, there was a big wall. Well, no, it wasn't just built. You've been taking down a lot of walls recently, but there's one wall that we're keeping as a divider between volleyball and pickleball, or just the courts in general. And we had to figure out, okay, is this staying? What does this need to look like? And so I ended up doing this white, green, and black, and it kind of has like an athletic stripe to it, and it looks really good. But these volleyball girls start coming in and beating the ball against the walls, and Chase is like, oh, we're going to have to add a pad to this. And I'm like, ah, really frustrated. It's going to ruin the whole look, but I guess the volleyball girls would have ruined it anyway, so.
One of our pickleball players came up to me last night and was wanting to know the timeline of when we're going to finish, because everybody wants it done, and they want it done now. They don't realize what we have to work with. And so, but one of the things that he mentioned to me is, like that wall y'all did, it looks amazing. So we want it to look good. We don't want to just throw up stuff and say, here it is, Clarksville. No, we want to go the extra mile and make it to where Clarksville is excited about us coming in and doing something. So
I want to add some things that you won't say. Lucy does a ton of research, and she has mood boards and lots of things for color and texture and different things. So she puts all that together. We are working with someone to help us with textures and pulling it all together. That's one of the issues that we have, is trying to pull it all together. She has great ideas, and we're going with the colors that she's done. And so she's really great at that. I'm good at sourcing and helping with fine details, because she's a lot of big picture like her dad.
that's okay.
And so
that's all we need.
Go ahead.
So John, now that we're doing this section, for how many square feet is ACME Health and Wellness? How many square feet is it going to encompass? Does anybody know off the top there?
ACME originally was 60,000 square feet, and we're basically tripling the size. So I mean,
I was going to say it's got to be near double or triple that.
Yeah, I think ACME Health and Wellness alone is 45,000, and then the pickleball courts and all that's another probably 30 or 40 or 50,000, probably 50. So
that's, I mean, close to 140,000.
yeah, it's going to be huge. So John, what is that? What is the intention of the building once we get through with this?
Yeah, so something that's been happening ever since the first business, Miss Lucille's, was we just started building other businesses in the warehouse as space would open up. And by opening up, I mean Trent saying, I have an idea for this space, so y'all got to go. But we've always wanted to connect what we call the front and the back of the warehouse. And so with doing this, with ACME being built in, and with some spaces we've already added with Miss Lucille's and areas we built out in City Forum with this expansion, is we're finally able to have this big hallway that will connect the front and the back of the warehouse. So basically connect all of the businesses that live under the roof to where you'll be able to park in the front, hit up Miss Lucille's, hit up ACME, and hit up City Forum without having to go back to your car, drive around, park in a new spot, come back into the warehouse. So being able to finally connect everything.
So John, what do you do? What do you do with the rest of our organization? What is your key big points that you
Yeah,
do?
pretty much I do everything. No, me and Chase are in operations meetings. Chase sort of leads those. I handle a lot of the marketing because of some new marketing things that we have been doing. And then also in terms of overseeing one of my babies, which was the arcade and laser tag, which was the system when you talk about research and all that kind of stuff. We opened City Forum. Pat McGrattan with Player One delivers all of our arcade games, and he says, who's going to work on these? And we said, what do you mean? Yeah. And so I had to be the one to sort of step in and learn arcade and laser tag and all that kind of stuff, and learn all of our OSs and point of sales and all that. But so I help out with a lot of that. I've been able to thankfully replace myself in a lot of areas. At one point, I was IT. I was probably the worst IT person in the whole world. But we were able to find an individual who had a history with the warehouse, Jake, that was able to come in and do a million times better than I was doing with our IT. And he handles all of our cabling, our network infrastructure,
all that kind of stuff, and it's amazing. And then I've been able to replace myself with some of the arcade technicians, which we have a really good group right now, and doing more of the day-to-day stuff within particular City Forum. But and then I'm also looking at P&Ls, diving through those, seeing what areas we had great success at, what areas we need to improve, and communicating that with the operations team, and then also communicating that with my marketing team and saying like, hey, this is down, we gotta switch something up or do something better here, have a new creative, have a new campaign, and so sort of use what I see in the P&Ls to better the businesses and help out what's happening with some downsides that I see for us to improve.
Well, you know, we're able to connect all of the building now because we did have tenants that were renting from our organization before, but now those tenants are gone. So now we have access to the whole building that our family runs the whole building now, every business in it. So that makes it really nice that we don't play well with others is what I say, meaning that I don't want to take up the whole parking lot and leave our tenants with 4 parking spaces. Now we don't have to worry about that. And also we even have another project going on across the warehouse where it's going to be like a huge kitchen, a catering kitchen. So what we're doing when we market stuff, guys, it's all about marketing as well. We're creating a magazine just for our organization to send out to people so we can tell them about all the things we have. It's almost going to be like our calling card to let them know as well. So
What's a calling card?
Calling card is like, okay, never mind. If I have to explain that, I'm glad you're not in marketing. So I'm glad you're in design, that you're gifted. So with ACME coming, is there any more other things that we need to let people know about what we're doing? Besides the construction, and like I said, we'll take some pictures of what we have to work with now, and we're going to keep continuing, probably meeting back here a little bit just to show you the updates.
Yeah, you want to talk more about modalities? We're on number 10.
I mean, a thing we didn't hit on is like, you know, we'll probably have with our health and wellness area a membership for that area, and then a membership over here, and then probably a membership that will kind of connect everything. We're still getting all the membership details figured out right now, and as soon as we get that, we're going to start sending it out to everybody, letting them know. But we will have locker rooms and all that kind of stuff too. So that's it. It's a lot of like moving pieces right now, but we're in the process of, you know, getting it all together.
One of the things that he doesn't like to talk about is timelines. And I'm very much a timeline girl. And he's like, oh, it'll happen. Okay.
I didn't know I had that high of a voice.
So I know that everybody's going to wonder, what's our timeline? So pickleball and volleyball will not be disrupted during all of this. And we can continue, we can start on the wellness area, but this one area that will have most of those extra modalities can be started pretty much as soon as we get the plan down. So that can start in this first quarter. But as far as it being completed, I would like to say, he's going to say definitely 2025. And we definitely want it to be before Q4, which is fourth quarter this year. So
that's 3 whole months that we lose in 2025, and you say it's going to be done before Q4.
So anyway.
Coming soon.
Yeah. Coming
what
soon.
What would you say?
I would say it's going to be complete when we open the doors and say,
Woohoo! We've learned our lesson multiple times.
Yeah. We did have a very wise person, and I will call out Matt Cunningham, that said, never put a date on it.
But we don't want to rush to provide quality. We want quality, and we want it done right the first time. So,
and Lucy and I want it to be beautiful.
So, John, I'm going to go back to something you said, too, before we leave out. And, you know, you said you're a poor tech guy, but I think your music background led you into knowing how to do a lot of that stuff because of
music and Legos.
Well, music and Legos. But, you know, I'm not saying you were the best we had, but you were the best we had, and at that point in time, it's not like we could afford a whole lot. So we had to start out in the ditches.
Well, I mean, that's been all the businesses when they first started. I only jumped on board with the business that we were fortunately able to sell. I mean, you guys being in day-to-day on Miss Lucille's, and then all of us being there at City Forum for quite a while. and then switching over, Chase doing pretty much everything in ACME for a while until we're able to get the businesses in a good financial standing and move out. I mean, our time in Dock 17, that was a ton of fun.
Washing dishes.
Yeah, still is fun. And but yeah, just being in there. And Chase has said something recently that shepherds smell like sheep. So if you're a business owner, you need to be in the business. And so when we start these businesses and we're in them and we learn all the things through good or bad experiences, and it's able to, when we are able to hire someone to bring them on and help us out, we're able to say like, hey, I've learned the hard way, this is how we should do this. And then if they say you can't do that, you can hold up your hand and be like, no, you can, because I did it. So it sort of eliminates that sort of attitude as well. But yeah, with what we've been able to do and how we've started most of the companies that have been around, a lot of these since after Miss Lucille's, yeah, I mean, we were in there putting in the sweat equity, blood, sweat, and tears.
You know, this is all about entrepreneurship, and I'd like to encourage people that are going to start their own business. They get scared and fearful of doing things, but you know, it's just like eating an elephant. It's one bite at a time. And so if you look at the whole picture, you might be fearful of starting something on your own, but if you just, and you can research something to death and you will never get started, but you have to just take the bull by the horns and do it. And if I had any advice for anybody, that would be it. There's been so many times with all of us, we all have our own stories, but when you just said that about Dock 17, we had these gravity, or what are they called, zero gravity chairs, Trent and I put in the electrical room because we would be here so late at night, we would need to take a nap because we'd be washing dishes late at night. So, I mean, we all work very hard in these businesses, and especially from when they get ground up. So if you're scared to start something, just do it.
Well, you know, the thing of it is that we as a family, we couldn't be where we're at if I didn't have their help, or vice versa, or Chase couldn't be where he's at because of helping with John's help, whatever that situation looks like. But the thing of it is you cannot be scared to ask for help. I'm not. I humble myself and know that I can't do all this by myself. So I count on my son-in-law, my son, my daughter, my wife to do their things. And you have to let go in order to succeed. And so you can't micromanage everything they do. And it also is teaching them how to do the employees as well. So we're fortunate that we love one another enough and we keep separated enough that it all works out for us. So I just had a conversation with a young man this morning saying, look, you don't always need a partner because it doesn't always work out. Make sure if you ever have a partner, there's an exit strategy because it's going to exit at some point in time. But with us, we're all family. There is no exit to this. So the only
sell the businesses.
Sell the business. And what person is going to buy something like this? If there's any private equity funds, we're all available. Yeah. But anyway,
hit us up.
So, but just saying, don't be scared. Humble yourself. Ask for help. And that's just part of it. So,
and have faith.
And have faith. We always put God first in everything we do, and that's what makes us successful. So, guys, we appreciate your time. We're going to keep you updated on our progress through here, and we're starting back next week with another episode as well. Look forward to it. Thank you so much.